When it comes to biometric facial recognition technology, there are concerns about how it will affect public safety and, more importantly, cybersecurity in the present and near future. Biometric facial recognition technology is able to distinguish physical characteristics of faces to validate a person's identity. And its current functionality, how it's used in practice, its benefits, its flaws, and its noted criticisms must all be taken into account to truly understand the effects of this technology on public safety and security. To understand the technology itself, its types, and how it processes facial data must be addressed. According to Galterio and her fellow researchers, there are two major types of facial recognition technology: face metric and eigenface. Face metric's basic function is to identify special features of a normal face picture. Eigenface technology, on the other hand, reconstructs the image of the face using scales of light and dark in patterns that reflect the different areas of the face. When it comes to actually processing faces, Cho and Zhang identify four key pieces in their research: face detection, normalization, feature extraction, and matching. True facial recognition is performed in the final step by comparing the subject's extracted facial features to those of other faces within the system using algorithms of calculations and scoring across facial features. The uses of facial recognition have dispersed into our everyday lives, government agencies, and commercial companies as well. The most notable everyday use of facial recognition is that found in most modern smart devices. The modern government push, however, is towards remote biometrics, which describes situations where a camera can scan a crowd of people to quickly identify everyone's face and compare it to databases of known terrorists or criminals. This is used by police departments for security and is accomplished from a distance, so people will most likely not know when it's occurring. On the commercial side of facial recognition, a notable example is Facebook's tag suggestions feature, which utilizes facial recognition biometrics on all users' photos to identify the people who may possibly be in the photo and then prompts the user to tag said person. With these uses, there are many different benefits observed and advocated for since the implementation of biometric facial recognition. To start, rising use of biometrics such as facial recognition is typically seen as an overwhelming positive in the eyes of the general public due to the ease of use and convenience it brings users. Facial recognition can also help secure transactions without a human security presence and eliminate implicit biases in situations like border checkpoints. On the government side of things, in the post 9/11 world, facial recognition is argued to improve migration control, increase economic growth, and increase the quality of government services. In USA Today, Terry Collins also makes note of law enforcement's continued argument that facial recognition technology is an invaluable tool that can quickly root out dangerous people. Before diving into the public's concerns over how facial recognition technology is being used, there are important technological security issues to be addressed. As Cho and Zhang point out in their research, facial data can be easily obtained of a person, and an image-based facial recognition system can be easily tricked into thinking a 2D image of a face matches the actual person. This is facial recognition spoofing, of which there are three types: photos, videos, and 3D models. Of the three, video spoofing is the most realistic and dangerous in terms of mimicking a live face, especially when using an ultra-high definition screen. Despite the issues spoofing presents, improvements to facial recognition systems are being worked on to prevent it. Utilizing 3D vector scans and checking for liveliness of a face through heuristics of motion, signs of life, and texture are being taken into account with continued technological development of facial recognition. Alongside the technological security risks, there are an ever-growing number of public concerns questioning the ethics of how companies and the government have used, are using, or will use facial recognition technology in the future. Norval and her researchers reported that advocates of privacy were extremely critical of Facebook's tag suggestions, provoking a much larger conversation of consent since it was turned on by default and the right to remain anonymous. As far as government use goes, Colin confirms that as of December 2019, there are no government regulations in place for facial recognition technology. In one subdivision of the FBI, there is even a searchable database composed of 640 million photos of faces taken from driver's license and visa applications. Reports of such databases and other uses have sparked debates regarding if government facial recognition violates rights protected under the First, Fourth, and 14th Amendments of the US Constitution. These conversations of ethics and rights of facial recognition have only just begun and will continue to be had as the technology evolves. Looking at biometric facial recognition from every viewpoint is crucial to understanding its security implications. Understanding how the technology works, what benefits it can bring, where its faults are, and what ethical questions it poses are all crucial to getting the full picture. With proper ethical consideration, biometric facial recognition has the potential to revolutionize the world of security to even greater lengths than it already has.